Welcome back, guys. We're here at Sendini. Brad just landed out here for the first time. We're gonna unload all that cargo. If you haven't seen the video previously, Brad's first landing out here. We're gonna unload here, give out some balls, head over to iBuy, pick up a sick lady. Beautiful weather out here as always though. Well, not as always. We're gonna pick up a little bit of coffee out of here just because, well, we can. We've got the available space. Going to iBuy and we're just picking up maybe 150, 200 kgs. And so I'm gonna run the numbers, show you how I do that so I know how much I can get out of here. All right, we landed with 620 pounds of fuel. So I know that I'm gonna have 300 kg penalty out of iBuy, and I'm just gonna guess for 200 kgs for our passenger and any baggage or anything like that. It's a 30-minute flight over there. So 30 minutes times 5.3 plus a circuit, so 190 kgs. So we are going to be landing there with around 430 to 450 kgs or pounds of fuel. Let's run it a little bit high, 450 pounds. If we take 200 out of there with our penalty, we can still get 450 kgs out of here of coffee. So let them know that and start loading up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add up some coffee, 450 kgs, about that, to bring it back, just because we already do have the fuel ramps, things like that, that are actually cutting into our weight a little bit, so it actually might be a little bit lower than that. We're gonna weigh them up because they're not previously weighed and start loading them up. Brad and I are gonna walk down here just to take a look at where he touched down. It's really nice if it's, especially the first time you come out to places, to see exactly where you touched down, where you thought you did, and then you can kind of see the lay of the land and see if there's, you know, bumps or divots, things like that that you were not aware of in your landing. So that's what we're gonna go do right now. Hey guys, all these like tall grass looking like things out here, this is all sugar cane when they're tied up to a big post just so that it can grow longer and doesn't just kind of fall over. We got the school right up here. There's a school here and then there's a school up there as well that has more grade school stuff. But that's where the balls are going, from here and then also up there. And as you can see, just looking around the valley, we've got one airstrip there, one airstrip right across Onday. Marowak is around the corner. Then up the way we flew over on the way in here was another one around the corner, another one around the corner. So a very packed full valley of airstrips. I don't really think you're gonna be able to see it very much, but from the windsock down to about this area, it's just an ever so slight downhill. And then that's right where it starts picking up and going up the hill up here. And I personally like to land just around the windsock and between that one and this cone right here, because it's just a slight downhill. You can get a really nice, smooth landing. But we're gonna go check to see where Brad's wheels touched down, because he touched down a little bit before that he actually wanted to, but this is his first time coming in here, so that's not really big of a deal. We're gonna be coming back here later on in the morning if the winds do not pick up, but they already picking up just since we've landed here just a little bit. All right, looks like here's the touchdown point right here, but this is just right on the crest. You can kind of see maybe how the hill kind of goes up a little bit, and then in the windsock, that's when it starts going back down. So we touch down right here and we just kind of bounce just a little bit and then settle back down. I remember the first few times I would land, I'd always try to land right here, and I'd do the exact same thing, and it took walking down here, that's why we're doing it today, is walking down here to take a look at it, to really see what exactly is going on. Because I remember maybe the first 5 times I landed here by myself, back when I was flying with MAF in the GA8, I'd land and I'd just bounce, and I was like, man, why am I bouncing? I don't understand. Came down here and realized there's actually a little bit of a hill, and if you don't land past it, that happens every single time. All right, we're just getting out of here now. Winds are definitely picking up. I can feel it on my face. We'll have a headwind for takeoff, but that means coming back in here for a number 2 round today might not happen. So we're heading over to iBuy. I'm switching seats. I don't feel comfortable landing on 11% slope with my right hand. It's just too awkward for me. I just haven't had enough experience flying the Kodiak into more sloped airstrips. So let's go ahead and get out of here and hopefully get in here for a second time today. All right, let's get started because the winds are already picking up an eye-by. Hopefully it works. All right, low idle. G's coming up over 30, ITT's coming up at a nice rate. And peaks out at 663. Got my low fuel, home flat flail. Go ahead and run it all the way up to 0 just to make sure that it goes all the way up. Not really sure why we had a flat flail. It's been a long time since we've had one. Alright, flaps are all the way up. Let's go down to
TAWS system test. Okay.
Now let's get on the top just so we aren't just draining all of our fuel as quickly as possible. Moresby 6622, November Tango Echo Taxi.
November Tango Echo, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Echo Taxi, Sendini, I-by 2 POB. I'm pushing forward on this.
November Tango Echo, copy taxi, now report the traffic.
You're going right. November Tango Echo. Because this round that we're on right now is like ice, I'm pretty sure like once we start adding our power, it's just gonna just start pulling us. I'm just gonna look at my ITT to see if it's about where I want it on takeoff. We'll check our controls. Our TAWS off. Switches and instruments are done. Flaps are set, indicated, and verified at 20 now. We'll get our trim set up. All right, we'll be airspeed alive by the first walking path across, otherwise we'll just stop on the runway. We'll expect a crosswind right after takeoff from the right. Depending on how it feels, we'll probably plan to go off to the left and go through the Mariwaka Gap is my plan. All stations, Sendini, Kodiak November Tango Echo, departing Sendini for I-by. We'll be on climb 10,000. All right, ignition. Inlet and lights for 5,000, 25 degrees, 1330. Ignition condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses 1330. And our weight is 6,300, so it's 5969. 5969. Ignition condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses. Rotate 59, 1330. See how long we can hold our brakes. There we go. All right, there's 1330, 720. Airspeed's alive. Be heavy on the front. 36. Feel a little bit of right. There's our 62. Back below 740, and we've got 9-knot headwind. So coming back in here for a second rounder, it might be a waste of time, to be honest. Let's pitch for 85 knots initially. 4 knots of wind here, so it dies down quite a bit just on this. So 3 knots now. So if we were to come back in here, like that would have been like 1 knot, 3 knots, and then short final 9-knot tailwind. So something to think about as we are thinking about if we're going to do a second one. We have a limit. Yeah, I think I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest. I got 8 knots of tailwind. We'll come up in here to the Mariwaka Valley area and just start circling there to get through the valley, or through the gap. And clean up, landing bypass, and igniters turned off. 720 on the ITT. We'll pitch for our 99 knots so we can get through the Mariwaka Gap as quickly as possible and on to I-by. That's right over here. That's right, that's that. We're gonna come over here into this big kind of bowl valley where Mariwaka is, kind of in there, and we'll just probably, if it works out, I gotta get up to 8,600. I'm just gonna try to make it so I can go right up over top of that, and by the time I get over there, be at 8,600 feet. Okay. Let's see if it works.
Wait a minute.
Orsby 6622 November Tango Echo departure.
November Tango Echo Mosley, go ahead.
November Tango Echo departed Sindeni, time 42, tracking 307 on climb not above 10,000. Estimating I by 10.
November Tango Echo, not above 10,000, no reported traffic. Stand by for transfer.
November Tango Echo. It looks like even this gap has gotten a lot skinnier. I think even more so. Maybe not. I guess it was fairly tight coming. If we would have gone that way, though, we did go that way, so.
D300.
Sorry?
D300 is what's listed on the ForeFlight.
Yeah, like that's like if you're scraping the trees.
Huh?
So 84 to 86 is about where I'm like, okay, that's comfortable. So if I'm getting up to there and I'm like not quite there yet and I'm touching the clouds, and I know, oh, this isn't gonna work, but it looks like it should work. I'm just positioning myself on this side in case I did want to peel out to the left if for some reason something wasn't looking right, or maybe another airplane was coming through or something like that. There's 600.
As is, we can see plenty on the other side, so you're just going to keep your speed up and
I'm just keeping my speed up. I know that it's clear and we can see across, so I don't see any reason to slow down. Unless it was like there was some other element that was making it go, I don't know. Just keeping my power in for the time being because we're planning on going up to 10,000 right after this. We'll see if the 10,000 actually works.
yeah, it looks like it's going to be at the top of the clouds.
It does look like that, doesn't it? Might open up right after top of this.
Okay.
Because I'm not seeing a ton of shadows on the valleys up there.
Yeah.
Which means that it
And
might
it does
be open.
look like there's a lower level out front as well.
Right, looks like 10,000 is just going to barely squeak us over top of these clouds. It looks like further on out, it looks like 10,000 probably should work. So as the morning goes on, that's why I have 12,000 for the second one. These are just going to continue to rise up. And usually before noon, you can get back at 12,000, but then as the day goes on, now they're up to 14,000. And then if you go on top of them, you have a smoother ride back, as opposed to if you go on the underneath of them, then it's just bumping you all around, and it's just kind of annoying.
Altitude was I by, you said? 3,000?
7,300 for the pattern altitude.
Okay, 6,000. That's the highest airport we go into, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's definitely the one that you feel density altitude on the most.
On control input and performance?
Just the performance.
Okay.
Like you just don't get your speed, especially being an 11% slope, you just don't feel like the acceleration quite like you normally do everywhere else. Orsby 6622 November Tango Echo request.
November Tango Echo Mosley, go ahead.
November Tango Echo on climb amended 12,000.
November Tango Echo, roger, not above 12,000, no reported traffic.
November Tango Echo.
You'd almost go under.
November Tango Echo, request to check hold now on primary 6538. Correction, primary 65998, secondary 6538.
65908, 6538. No, November Tango Echo. No, there's mountains.
Now you can see into this valley, but then it probably goes up into the clouds right here.
Yeah, there's like a big ridge all right there that we wouldn't be able to get.
Oh, okay.
Orsby 65908, November Tango Echo, check call.
November Tango Echo, Mosley, reading strength falls, go ahead.
I was just asked to switch to this frequency at this time. Reading is strength 3 will remain here. Estimating I by 10. On climb amended 12,000. Estimate I by 10. November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, just Colton lie by this frequency.
Welcome November Tango Echo. Alright, looks like 12,000 is just going to work just fine getting over this.
That's Mount Michael right in front. Yes, just
Which is
peeking
at
out.
12,000, yeah.
All right, well, let me just quickly look at iBuy. We've got 9 minutes out. Our pattern altitude here at iBuy is 6,340 feet. I'm going to put my minimums on for my turning final at 6,840. That way Betty will say minimums when it's time to turn final, and that way I don't go too low. Winds can be strong by 10 a.m. It's going to be 10:10 by the time we get there. We got a text earlier when we were out in Sendini saying that winds were picking up. I'm going to be landing out there in 10 minutes, so I'm going to be burning another maybe 100 pounds. So we'll be landing with 6,000 pounds, so 67. And I'm going to add 3 knots to that. So let's do 70 knots. Just verifying, 67. We'll add 3 knots with this 9% on touchdown. Oh, we need to start going down. This is the valley that I thought was open. So yeah, let's start heading down. We should be directly over top of Mount Mai. Oh, there it is right there. We're going right beside it. Let's go down to 7,300 feet. Looks like about 700 feet looks like it's going to do it. Check our selectors. Our TAWS is still off. Our VREF we've set up at 70. Our lights, our inlet. If we need to go around, it's mid-final, power up, 20 degrees of flaps. Pitch for 11 degrees. And a left-hand turnout, resetting our ITT to the top of the green. Oh, winds are picking up down here as we go down, 14 knots from crosswind. Which means it's going to come right over top of iBuy, and it's probably going to hit Mount Ilambari, and then turn right back around into a tailwind for landing. All right, OBS, what's the runway heading again? You have it up?
I don't.
2-1? Here, I've got it
We
on
have to pull it up on good notes.
2-3. OBS, runway 23, 0, puts a nice line there. Coming at a way that I don't think I've ever come in before, into iBuy before, so we're probably not going to see it until we're just almost over it. I'm going to fly off the end of it, and that way I can just kind of curl around nicely and take a good look at it on my way in.
Like with the clouds in different positions every time, even coming in the same direction, it can look different.
Yeah. All stations iBuy 120.7, November Tango Echo, 10 miles to the east, 9,300. Circuit iBuy 10. I think I should actually be on 120.1 here. All stations iBuy 120.1, Kodiak November Tango Echo, 10 miles to the east, southeast, 9,100. Circuit iBuy 10. So we've got a few opportunities to do a couple go-arounds here and do our best that we can. It's 15 minutes, so let's just say it's 100 pounds getting out of here back. Actually, it's a little bit less than that, so let's say it's 90 pounds to get back to Goroka. Perfect VFR day. We can get out of here with 410. Oh, really? Not a lot. I only gave ourselves basically enough to get over here and do like an extra circuit, maybe 2 at most, and then we'll head on back to Goroka, so yeah. Orsby 65908, November Tango Echo in the circuit iBuy, report after landing.
November Tango Echo, calling on the run.
November Tango Echo. All stations iBuy 120.1, November Tango Echo is joining the circuit iBuy. No, that's it over there. I'm looking at the wrong valley. This is the ridge going on up. There it is over there. So I was looking at this, I was like, I'm getting awfully close to my final. Right. So let's start heading that way. It's crazy what clouds can do. Our prop forward, our harnesses. All right, 13 knots still. It's gonna be pretty rough on final, I'm thinking. Let's go take a look at the windsock and see what it's showing. I can see the windsock from here, and it looks like it's a pretty strong crosswind, which isn't as bad.
You're a 5-knot tailwind limit.
Yeah, 5-knot tailwind. I don't think we'll have a tailwind. We'll have a crosswind, it looks like, of 7,300. At an altitude, let's start slowing down to our 90 knots. Oh, it's coming directly over the mountain. We're going to expect downdrafts on final, continuous downdrafts, because it's just straight ahead. So, we also have a crosswind on touchdown, it looks like. Let's see. All right, yeah, crosswind, just a direct crosswind right now. Looks like 3 to 4 or 5 knots maybe on touchdown. It's a direct crosswind, so we'll give it a go a couple times. Looks a little bit wet. I saw some glistening water in the parking bay. Bobbin harness is done. Flaps to go. Landing clearance will get on the ground. 8 degrees of flaps. Turning base 7,000. The knots right now. This is the hill where we normally turn. On to 80. Full flaps now. Just not wanting to slow down. We're 6840, turning final. A little bit high, turning final. All right, looks to be a 7 or 8 knots.
Minimums.
Crosswind. To 71 knots. Add a little, one more. That's headwind. I'm just gonna go around. Right, pitch up to 11 degrees. My ITT. At 6 knots, headwind, 4 knots of crosswind, or something like that.
And after you said go around, it changed to 4 to 2.
Okay. To get my speed on down is what I'm struggling with there. Okay, there's our 500 feet. We'll remain here. Flap checklist is complete. Alright, click on the descent. It's not, it's headwind, 2 knots crosswind. Knots, we're continuing. Go fast.
$500.
Oh, just muddy out.
Definitely slid a little bit.
Alright, so he's saying don't go in there with those cones, is my guess. Orsby 65908, November, Tango, Echo, on the ground, I-by, cancel SAR.
Tango Echo, I-by, SAR, what's the statement added?
November, Tango, Echo. Alright, always exciting. Oh, there we go.
That was the most work I've seen yet.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, catch my breath as always. Thanks guys for joining Brad and I on this little kind of rounder out to Sindini and out here. Like I said, if you haven't seen the first one, Brad landing out there in Sindini, you can go check out the video right before this. And we're heading on to Goroka. Let's get it shut down.